Hi guys, Steve up at the property, and in this video we're going to work on fixing the backhoe. We got electrical problems, it's not charging, got dead batteries, we have electrical issues inside the cab, some of the meters aren't working, the directionals are flashing, glowing. We have problems, and this video, or maybe a series of videos, I'm not sure yet, but this has been going on this is probably my 5th day back trying to fix this thing. There's lots of gremlins, lots of mistakes, but I'm learning on a lot of it, so let's get to it. Hi guys, Steve up at the property, and this week we're going to take the alternator out of the backhoe. It is cold, as you've been following with my drama with this thing. We had the mechanical thumb put on. As you can see, that's the black item on the dipper there. And when you weld, I guess, intensely with that, with a big stick welder, it'll send, I guess, a lot of, I don't know, electronical shock waves through the system of the backhoe, and it can fry out the internals of the alternator. I think it might be the diode. And when I went to start it, it wouldn't start. Now, I don't know why it would kill whatever juice was in the batteries, but I guess it did that too. So it was raining the day that he welded it on, so I had to come back up another day, and I thought it might have been the batteries. So I jump started it with the truck. It fired up, but I found out that it wasn't charging, so therefore it was the alternator. And I did a little research. I said, yes, indeed, you can fry out the alternator when you're welding on the backhoe. So it's cold. It might be a little difficult to get my hands working, but it's not that bad. So I got to get the backhoe running, because to open up the access panel, I have to have the bucket up. All right, let's get to work. Hi guys, well, I should have hit the camera sooner, but I took off the side panel and 2 bolts, one here, and it slides out, and there's the alternator. The good news is I don't have to start the backhoe and lift up the bucket. It's right here, and it's very easy to get to. Looks like it's 2 bolts and like 3 wires. This, you know, isn't it nice when you go to start a job and it's actually easier than you thought? So far, so good. I'm assuming that everything will come apart nice and easy. So let me get the proper tools, and let's get to work. Okay, we got the ground, that post there. Then there's that red wire there. Then underneath the big black dust cap is the main power lead. The plug is the blue wire. All right, we got 1 bolt here and 1 bolt underneath. Should be easy. go. Voila. Alternator's out. Well, that was kind of easy. I'm really happy that it didn't really fight me at all. Like I was gonna say, when I deal with like old cars and stuff, a lot of times your first instinct is I'll just get a remanufactured starter, remanufactured alternator. Once these things start getting old and valuable, cars, not so much this, numbers need to match, so you want the right year. Get a remanufactured starter and alternator, it may not be the right year or whatever, and it may not fit right. And a lot of times what happens, like when you get a remanufactured starter and alternator, stuff doesn't match up right. And if you remanufacture the one you got, the wires are going to go back where they're supposed to. You have the right pulley. Everything will work the right way. So this one was already remanufactured once. John Deere Reman. Interesting. If you want to buy a new one of these, it's something like $300. Now, if I get it remanufactured, it's like $100, I think. We'll find out. All right, guys, we'll bring this to Anflow. And we'll come back in a couple of weeks and put it back in. All right, guys, Steve up the property, and as you can see, we've had some snow, and today we're gonna put the alternator back in the backhoe. In the first part of the video, the alternator came out real easy. I brought it to the guys by where I live, Anflow, and they did a bang-up job. It's good to see them. They fixed up the alternator. It's like $130, $135. It's ready to go in. I just gotta brush off the machine and open it up, put it in the alternator. Then we're gonna fire it up. We're gonna see if, assuming that the alternator charges, I'll check the voltmeter, and then hopefully the batteries are fine. They'll charge up the batteries. We'll shut it down. We'll try to restart it. All right, let's clean up the snow and get that alternator in. Done. Installed. Well, you heard it. Something's going on. I'm gonna have to research in this. Maybe the batteries are fried. I'm gonna have to research into it. I'm pissed off though, because this is a machine that I need. we're gonna have to research it. You know, if I had, I wish I had some testing equipment up here. Should have brought it with me. I thought for sure this would have correct those problems. All right, guys, we'll have to check this out another day. It's not getting any warmer. Hi guys, Steve up the property, and we're back at the backhoe. And just for a little recap, a while ago, a month ago maybe, we had that mechanical thumb. This thing, we had it stick welded onto the end of the dipper there, and that probably sent a lot of electrical energy through the machine. I didn't hit the battery disconnect. There are some people that say you shouldn't have to. There's some people that say that you should. I never even gave it a second thought. But when he was done welding it onto my machine, I went to try to start it. It wouldn't start. It was dark out. It was late. And I was heading home that night. So I left it. I locked it up. I came back up, tried to start it, nothing. I jumped it with my pickup truck, and I'm checking the voltmeter. When I got the thing jumped with the pickup truck, it's reading 14 volts, which it should. Disconnected the truck, it dipped back down to, like, I forget, 8, 9, 10. So that told me that the alternator was probably fried. So I took the alternator out, I brought it to Anflow, which is a place near me on Long Island, came back up, put in the alternator. I fired the backhoe up, and I can't recall if it was reading 12 volts while it was hooked up to the truck or not. The truck is new, it's got a good alternator, a couple of batteries. That's fine. Disconnected it, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I did get the backhoe to start, but it was reading something like, again, 8, 9, 10, 11 volts. I'm thinking maybe the batteries are fried too. But regardless, it should have been reading 13, 14 volts because the alternator is rebuilt. So I'm thinking now that unfortunately maybe they didn't rebuild the alternator properly. So what I did is I brought up my multimeters, other test equipment. We're going to test to the back of the alternator to see if the alternator is actually putting out a charge. If it's not if it's reading 14 volts at the back of the alternator, then there's a disconnect between the alternator and the batteries. So if we're not getting a good reading at the back of the alternator, we got to take it off. And my buddy Glenn, who's a mechanic and a body man, knows his stuff, recommended another place I'll put underneath here. I forget the name at the moment. And they do a really good job, and they'll really fix the alternator. I'll probably still take home the batteries, and I gotta put them on a full charge so I could, put them on a load test. I have a feeling they're fried. Now these are a certain size battery. They need a capacity charge, something that it could run for a certain amount of time, putting out 25 amps, something. I forget what the actual quality to that battery is. You have the size, so it can fit in the box, which is on this machine, I believe it's a 5D. You need a certain amount of cold cranking amps, which is a lot, but you have 2 of them. So the batteries, I found a couple places that sell them. They're not, a popular size, and it also needs that capacity charge. I'll put the blurb underneath here. I forget at the moment. I'm learning a lot about batteries and electrics. So this is, I had a very basic working knowledge of electrics, but now to resolve this, I'm trying to figure it out on my own. I don't really need the machine. It's the middle of the winter right now. I'm looking at the pond. That's frozen over. It's a little chilly, but I got my electric socks on. I got my wool cap. I should be good enough to rip out the alternator if I have to. That doesn't take long. So let's get it started and see if we got charge at the back of the alternator. I just want to show you, here's the mechanical thumb, and this thing is welded all the way around. Okay, before I hook up the battery to the truck, hit the switch. I got some juice. Well, let's see what the voltmeter says. 10.8, 10.7. Oh, I doubt it'll fire up the backhoe, but we'll give it a shot. Nope. Okay, well, not good news. It's running the multimeter off the back of the alternator. They were saying 12.15 volts. That's no good. You know, what are the chances you bring an alternator to a rebuilder and they just don't do it right? You know, this place has been in business for 40 years. How many hundreds of thousands of alternators and starters do they do? And they screw this one up. Aggravating. So I'm going to have to take off the alternator, bring it to a real place to get it fixed. I'm going to take the batteries out too. I mean, I shut off the backhoe and it started right back up again, but the alternator is just not charging. I think the batteries, I don't know if they're good or not, but the alternator is sure not good, and that's a little upsetting. A real waste of time going back and forth and paying money. I think I paid $135 to have it rebuilt. So I'm going to take the batteries out too, bring them home, put them on a charger, really charge them up full, and test them on the load tester. You know, it doesn't take much to take the batteries out. If they're bad, I'll replace them. They're, you know, $200 a piece. Boy, putting on this mechanical thumb cost me a lot of money. I'm getting some funky stuff going on inside the cab too. It's saying that the air filter needs changing. You know, all the lights are coming on, but then, you know, the directionals, you know, are all glowing. You know, it's like a bad ground. I think maybe, I don't know if maybe because the alternator's doing a short, maybe the alternator's doing that. I know if you get like a bad ground or something bad going on in the circuitry anywhere, it could affect everything else. So one step at a time. I want the thing to start when I want it to. So we're going to take out the alternator, get that fixed, and take out the batteries too. So the story is to be continued.